as the 24-hour economy takes off smoothly at the country's ports. According to the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Joseph Paddy, although they welcome the initiative, issues about security and road infrastructure are of great concern to them, which ought to be looked at to ensure seamless operations at the port. Mr. Paddy spoke to Joy Business.
Before this announcement, we had a meeting with the Brigadier General when he made his intention clear to us that he wants to make the Tema Port 24-hour, which was a welcome news. But there were some few questions we were asking, and they said some of the questions were like, are the other agencies on board? Are they also coming to be on board, especially with the banks, with our standard authority, and then the EPN, where some products need to go through those systems? And he gave us that assurance that he's going to bring all of them on board. And if they have announced, why we welcome this idea is that, in trade facilitation, we talk about cost of doing business, and we talk about ease of doing business, and we talk about time of doing business. We talk about time of doing business. These are all the components that facilitate trade. So when the Commissioner General promises that they're going to make a 24-hour economy to the port, we all welcome it. But some of the questions we're asking is that we're looking at security. How secure is the environment as we trade in the night? And we're looking about our lighting system. Street light. When you are traveling from Tema to Accra, you look at the motorway, how dark the place is. So these are some of the few things we're asking. And then we also spoke about the road from the port to Tema. And recent time, we've seen that road has been fixed by the Brigadier General. The runabout that leads to the port, they've tarred the road, which we think he's doing very well. So we welcome this idea as it's coming on board, and we'll patronize it based on the few things that we see. If we are sure of our security in the night, why not? We're going to patronize it because it's going to give ease of doing business and the timing of doing business to be adhered to. So these are some of the few things we buy. It's a good news and it's a welcome news. We see how it works.
Tax partner at accounting firm PwC Ghana, Abeku Jankwansa, has welcomed government's proposal to reduce the value-added tax rate to 20%, describing it as a positive move that could lower the cost of doing business and support business expansion. Speaking to Joy Business, he added that government is unlikely to suffer significant revenue losses from the reduction, as increased collections from other tax streams, such as income tax, could offset the difference.
As the Commissioner General did explain, you notice that, and let me try and break it down for the sake of our viewers. If you go to a restaurant that does the right thing and charges VAT and those other taxes, when you look on your bill when it comes, you would notice that the total effective taxes that are being charged and remitted to the GRA would be 21.9. However, you cannot get a total deduction of the entire 21.9. Actually, I'm one of those with a school of thought that effectively, if you're having a conversation with effectively, the deduction that you get is about 15.9 out of the 21.9. By government saying, I'm not going to follow this decoupling again, what it means now is that if you incur the 20%, you would be able, subject to the laws, of course, to deduct the 20%. What this therefore means for business is that the cost of doing business should go down. Hopefully that would incentivize business to expand. And whilst government may say, although I don't necessarily think it follows that line of argument, although government may say I may potentially lose some VAT revenue, you would get it from other sources like income tax and increased compliance. So I think it's a very good news, and we all need to support the government to ensure this is done.
Some civil society organizations are urging government to step up efforts in bringing the informal sector into the national tax net. Senior Research Officer and Tax Equity Lead at Budget Ghana, Hamid Abdul Mumuni, says widening the tax base to cover the informal economy is critical to boosting domestic revenue and bridging the shortfalls in government finances. He made the call at a 2026 pre-budget forum organized here in Accra.
We, Budget Ghana, what we are calling for is for the government to strengthen revenue mobilization. Yes, when you look at the mid-year budget review, it came out that the projected resource mobilization or projected revenue for the mid-year was somewhere around 102.5 billion, but in actual, the outturn was just 99.3 billion. And this calls for, this represents a shortfall, which calls for more efforts in the issue of revenue mobilization. But when you look at it from this point, revenue mobilization is usually on taxes. Yes, but taxation in Ghana is set around the formal sector to the neglect of the informal sector. The informal sector also plays a major part. So if we are able to rope in the informal sector, then our deficit when it comes to resource or revenue mobilization would be sorted out. Yes, the issue is not on increasing taxes or presenting or bringing in new taxes or presenting higher taxes, but then the issue is rather on the challenge is rather on compliance, tax compliance, especially among the informal sector. So the informal sector has reservations when it comes to taxes.
The Canada-Ghana Chamber of Commerce has welcomed the government's plans to scrap the minimum capital requirement for foreign investors under the Ghana Investment Promotion Center Act. Speaking at the 2025 CEO Connect Summit organized by the Canada-Ghana Chamber of Commerce, Executive Secretary of the Chamber, Edwina Atasuno, says eliminating the threshold will lower entry barriers and make Ghana a more attractive destination for investors.
At the 2025 CEO Connect Summit in Accra, the Canada-Ghana Chamber of Commerce welcomed government plans to eliminate the minimum capital threshold for foreign investors. Executive Secretary Edwina Atasuno said this will help to create jobs.
I think it's a brilliant idea. It is a brilliant idea in the fact that we have to make Ghana attractive for investors to come in. If our investment capital is so high, we will not get them coming in. So I agree with the President 100%. If it starts functioning, we're going to get a lot more investors, not just from outside, even within Africa, to come in and invest in Ghana. We need those FDIs to come through. We need it. So let's make it conducive for them to come in.
Chief of Staff at the Presidency, Julius Debra, noted that strict fiscal discipline and targeted investment in key growth sectors are central to this agenda.
Ghana as a country increases our productivity, increases our GDP, creates jobs for our people, and happiness comes to a system where people have jobs to do. So answering a very simple question, I would say it started, but this initiative, takes a while for people to even come to the understanding that as an entity we want to adopt 24-hour policy. But I believe, give and take, by the end of December, most Ghanaian businesses will come to the reality and probably sign on to be part of it.
Government emphasizes that measures being put in place are crucial for protecting growth momentum and strengthening Ghana's competitiveness in regional and global markets.
Let's now go to the Western region for some business news. And work has resumed on the long-stalled Western Railway Line project, a development expected to boost Ghana's mineral haulage and revenue potential. Chief Executive of the Ghana Railway Development Authority, Dr. Frederick Apo, inspected ongoing works and expressed confidence the project will unlock massive economic gains. More in this report.
Once the backbone of Ghana's transport network, the Western Railway Line is steadily coming back to life. The line historically linked Ghana's mineral-rich enclaves in Takwa, Nsuta, and Awaso to the Takoradi port.
Amandi, which is our contractor, has resumed work on the Western Railway Line. I am pretty much sure that this resumption of works will also energize the resumption of works for our local sleeper factory. RMS, they employ over 150 Ghanaians who are sitting at home. So it's a good news that basically we are back on site. I'll repeat this and I'll say this again. The Western Railway Line forms the cornerstone of our 24-hour economic policy in terms of haulage, of manganese. At the moment, we are just 15 kilometers from Nsuta. This is termed as Operation Trackstorm. We must reach Nsuta mines at all costs necessary, just to make sure at least we can haul the manganese to Takoradi port. We were looking at the estimation. If you look at it, 1 ton of manganese haulage from Nsuta to Takoradi port is about $7.50. Now, we are looking at, GMC is looking at estimated
10 million metric tons. So that's about $75 million per annum. Now, assuming this scenario where we have 10 million metric tons of bauxite from Yeni, Palap at Insuta, 5 million from Awaso, we are looking at estimated amount of 25 million metric tons. If we are able to hold this to Takoradi Port, we are looking at a consecutive amount of $150 million.
But the project continues to face serious challenges. Land encroachment has become one of the biggest threats to the smooth railway developments. Head of Corporate Affairs, Saudatu Hassana, says despite conversation, many individuals continue to occupy railway lines illegally.
With the issue of land encroachment, it's a big challenge that we are facing as a railway authority. Right from Accra, Tamam Pakadan, and when we went round, you also with your own eye, the encroachers, we are urging them to stay away from rail line. Before the construction of railway lines, compensation were made to landowners, and so we own the land. Encroachers to please stay away from railway lines. Those who are on lease know their limit. We will not spare anybody we find on our railway line.
The authority says with improved security and strict enforcement, it is optimistic the Western Railway Line will soon reclaim its place.
Back in the capital, Glyco General Insurance has donated a total amount of 2 million cedis to dependents of the 8 fallen patriots who died in the helicopter crash on August 6. Speaking at a brief ceremony to make the donation, Managing Director of Glyco General Insurance, Andrew Echampon Che Esquire, called on Ghanaians not to see insurance as an expense, but an investment. More in this report. Following the tragic death and subsequent burial of the fallen 8, Glyco General Insurance has moved to donate 2 million cedis to dependents of the 8 gallant men. Of this amount, 1.8 million cedis will be given to beneficiaries of the gallant 8, 100,000 going to the President's Children's Trust Fund, and 100,000 to the Ghana Armed Forces. Speaking to journalists, Managing Director of Glyco General Insurance, Andrew Echampon Che Esquire, stated that it is imperative to see insurance as an investment. He further called on Parliament to strengthen the existing laws so that compliance doesn't become optional.
You are aware there's a total of 2 million that is being paid out. A portion or a number will address the actual insurance payout, and a number is also going for as donation to those that did not have insurance. We cannot look after one and leave the other. And so it's important that we stand in unity, that we cover all. And so there is a donation to our fallen 8, those that did not have insurance, and there is also a payout on the policies that were given under the personal accident. And I'll encourage you all that it's important that we protect our lives. As I indicated, having insurance should be part of our social fabric, it should be part of our DNA, that we protect our lives and protect our hard-earned investments, our assets, our buildings, our vehicles, our properties. We seldom don't do it.
Deputy Government Spokesperson Shamima Muslim expressed gratitude for the gesture and called on other corporate institutions to emulate same.
I think it is particularly generous of you to have extended a hand of compassion to the other family members who were not covered under the policy that the other 2 had taken out, and I think that is particularly commendable. We look forward to receiving more donations for corporate Ghana, specifically to the families and those that would want to donate to the Child Support Fund. You're all welcome to do that.
Meanwhile, the National Insurance Commission has expressed their resolve to continue to innovatively partner insurers to improve coverage. Dr. Abiba Zakaria is the Commissioner General of the NIC.
But remember, it is all about unity and working together. So even as the insurance industry is honoring its part, we would also need the society at large to support our industry as well. Not to support by giving us money as people think, but to support the vision behind insurance, rising up in the cause of need to support those who suffer, which means that all of us must act together, come together as policyholders to help so that we can support each other in times like this.
Glyco is confident the memory of the gallant aide will not only inspire the nation, but also secure the future of those they left behind. Fidelity Bank is joining hands with a non-governmental organization, Plastic Punch, to undertake some activities aimed at promoting environmentally friendly activities. More in this report.
At the Kumansaba Lambamba Beach in Accra, staff of Fidelity Bank joined a cleanup exercise in partnership with Plastic Punch to clear plastics and raise awareness about marine pollution. At the same time, another team of employees supported a blood donation drive at King Takiteria Memorial School to boost supplies at the National Blood Bank. Majori Kwanzaa is a corporate social responsibility coordinator at Fidelity Bank.
As part of our Sustainability Month, which we have every year in August, we commit a month to promote sustainability in various aspects of our business. And one of the key activities are our employee volunteering activities. Today we are here at the Kumasumba Labamba Beach in partnership with Plastic Punch to support cleaning our beaches and clearing it of plastics. Another part of our employees are at Kentakiteria Memorial School for a blood donation drive as our contribution to supporting the blood bank in raising blood for cases in the hospitals. So we use this month as a way to raise awareness on sustainability with our staff, our customers, and all other stakeholders that connects with Fidelity Bank.
Executive Director of non-governmental organization Plastic Punch, Richmond Kennedy Kwaku, explained that while beach cleanups are not the ultimate solution, the information gathered will help shape waste management strategies.
We are aware that the beach cleanups are not the solution to the plastic pollution menace. However, we are here to collect relevant data as citizen scientists to understand what the pollutants are so that we can be able to use this information to inform policy direction and support the waste management systems in this community. Private sector has a very big role to play. I mean, from investment into infrastructure and also to create an enabling environment. That would mean by investment into infrastructure to enable recycling. Also, beyond recycling, most companies need to look at redesigning their products to make it more recyclable, for example, and that comes with some work in research and development. There's also the potential to look at alternative packaging solutions.
Fidelity Bank's AML-CDD manager, Edem Adimado, led a blood donation drive at King Takiteria Memorial School to support the National Blood Bank. He said the initiative reflects Fidelity's commitment to making a lasting social impact beyond financial services.
Even though our primary aim is to be in the business of banking, as in money, we do not also want it to just be that. We want to ensure that we make an impact in the society. And basically, by going into the society to do these kind of community-focused programs, we show the community that we are not just focused on the money part of the business, but we also focused on the human part of it, as in trying to ensure that we make an effort to improve the lives of people who are unfortunate.
Still watching Prime Business. Pegasus Publishing says it is committed to coming up with initiatives aimed at programs programs aimed at cultivating the culture of reading in the country, especially among kids in the country. Now, the firm gave this assurance at the opening of the Ghana International Book Fair at the National Theatre.
At the 22nd Ghana International Book Fair, Pegasus Publishing is showcasing its diverse collection of books at stand 13 of the National Theatre. According to Business Development Manager Jessica Zuenes, the fair has become a vital commercial initiative for the company.
I've loved the book fair so far. It's been my first time. The theme of inclusive publishing, I think, is something that is really resonating with current trends. We've had a lovely time so far. We've got to engage with our customers, with our audiences. We've got to learn a little bit more. I've learned a lot, and we're looking forward to an even more fruitful tomorrow and further editions of the book fair. This is the 22nd one, so it's been around for a while. The fair has always been something that's close to our hearts. It forms part and parcel of our commercial initiatives in the market, and it's allowed us to really, as I said, touch base with our audiences and really tap into what is necessary for our next commercial initiative. We would like more stakeholders to be involved. The government, we had the Minister of Youth and Development come for opening, which was really nice. But we would like to see more key stakeholders in the government involved in promoting literacy amongst the Ghanaians.
The General Manager of Operations at Pegasus Publishing, Bernard Austin, says the fair has been beneficial in providing an opportunity to interact with readers and generate enquiries.
The fair offers us the opportunity to be able to showcase our books. What we are looking forward is for more publicity from on TV and radio. The fair has been beneficial to us because it has offered us the opportunity to be able to receive a lot of enquiries and to be able to showcase our books. The books that we have, as I said earlier on, are well written and are NACA approved. These are books that have been certified for use in schools, and it offers the visitors to our stand to be able to sample all the books that we have and make their right choices.
Meanwhile, Executive Secretary of the Ghana Publishers Association, Benjamin Teriaklu, highlighted that the fair, which began in the 1990s, has been instrumental in promoting local publishing. He, however, called for stronger government support to sustain the initiative.
The fair is private-led. But in some countries like Cairo, in other places like Kenya, it is taking over. It has been taken over by the government. So the government puts in a lot of resources to make sure the fair comes off. But in Ghana, for example, we have to struggle to get funds to look for a space. All the financial aspect is not supported or are not supported by any government agency. We are expecting the Minister of Education should come to our aid, or Ghana Education Service, or Minister of Culture, Tourism and Culture come to bear, so they can also support that. But unfortunately, none of them has been able to support us in that regard.
Thanks so much for watching Prime Business. I am Pius Kojo Baka. For more stories, feel free to log on to myjoyonline.com/business. Always a delight serving you. Do have a lovely weekend. I leave you with commodities updates.